Hey Will, how's it going? Don't mind me, I'm just going to be looking through the evidence. So, we have a whole lot of evidence here that doesn't exactly point to Will Powers being guilty, but we can't connect it in such a way that leads to his innocence, and unfortunately this is the horrible dystopian future of 2016 Neo-California. So, of course, the court system is guilty until proven innocent, meaning we're going to be the ones who have to fight, and unfortunately, unlike last time, we can't exactly pin the murder on Wendy Oldbag, and in fact, we never really met anyone yesterday who we can pin the murder on. I mean, there's this child. There's Penny Nichols, who would kill for trading cards, but I don't think trading cards were involved. Let's move on. Andy Vasquez, who, quite frankly, I'm pretty sure would be honest if she murdered someone. Oh yes, I stabbed him in the heart. What of it? Oh, my favorite show got canceled. Court is, no, don't mind my ghost pal, who is normally collected and confident. Oh dear. Well, nothing looks good in any way, shape, or form, but that doesn't mean it's over, right? I mean, in fairness, our best bet is that bottle labeled sleeping pills. I don't really know where we could go with that other than the obvious, hey, Will Powers needed them to sleep, but, it's proof he did sleep. Well, not really definitive proof. Okay, so we are working on essentially nothing. Alright, somebody slip up right now. Edgeworth, do you mind? Seems he does. Alright, we're not getting anywhere with that. Excuse me, but salmonella. Boom. I don't know what that's supposed to prove, but now everyone in court is just very deeply unsettled. Unfortunately, though, he's taking the stand first. Why couldn't we have Cody Hackins instead? I mean, the kid didn't like us, but I don't like him at all. Thank you, Edgeworth. Your glare has saved the day. Now, if we could continue doing that job, I'd much appreciate that. Right, of course. She doesn't look too enthused. I'm not either. But if these guys were involved, that means that he's pretty much our best bet because, quite frankly, I could totally see him slipping up. If DeVasquez were here, I don't think she'd leave any holes. Well, there doesn't seem to be any sort of huge contradiction, but there is something very, very small. Now, you're gonna have to remember the actual layout outside of Trailer 2, or Studio 2 outside of the trailer, rather. As far as I know, the trailer is not Studio 2. It is, in fact, not a studio at all. I mean, normally I'd say wow rude, but, Manila. Well, he's probably not going to have any differing information here. Let me guess. Will broke his leg? I can totally believe it. Yeah, I believe Penny said she was somewhere else, so that does hold water. I mean, it would have been nice if he had mentioned the fact that Will broke his leg, but I guess it's not a huge detail for him. Oh, yep, there he goes. Right, so he also knows about that. Lovely. I'm surprised Phoenix managed to figure that out so quickly. Usually it takes me forever to figure those out. Ugh. I don't like how he looks at steak the way he looks at some human beings. Right. I don't know how we'll prove it, but this is starting to sound a little suspect. Yep. Thank you, Mia. Because it's a complete contradiction. You don't have to say sweats, we can see you're sweating. You do that often, but nonetheless. Quit looking at me like that. Ugh. Yeah, unfortunately Salmonella will stick around in my mind for far too long. Even if I were to forget him in the next minute, it would still be too long. Well, that does completely contradict his statement. There were no breaks, except there was a break. You just said there was. Right, yeah, we just went over this. There was a break in which you ate a steak. Yeah, it should be obvious, but once you get the other bit of information, you can press harder, because that is a pretty gaping contradiction. I guess I was completely hiding the truth, if you want to put it like that. Tell us about your lunch, you sad, strange little man. Okay, come on, Edgeworth. You can't have anything about this lunch. You can't possibly. I don't know what that means, and I don't think you do either. That's oddly specific. Alright, Edgeworth. You're not going to own me over a man eating a steak. Especially this man. We're gonna find a contradiction here. Even if it kills me. Which, I don't know how it would, but I like to keep my options open. Otherwise, it would be an unexpected tragedy. I mean, a tragedy's bad enough on its own, but unexpected? Ugh. Don't want that. Right, yeah. About that. We do kind of need to know the time, because it could be important. Getting kinda nervous. I mean, the times are kind of a weird matchup, because they ate the moment he died, more or less. Well, I mean, I'm still questioning, so obviously that's a no. Maybe they all went over. Maybe they all murdered him. It was a group murder. It's like one of those trust exercises, except one of the actors dies. Unfortunately, we really don't have the evidence to say anything. Well, if they couldn't have gone over, that does mean there are a few possibilities at least, right? Maybe he came to them, Called them for a meeting, said, hey, we got an exercise we need to do. Stab! Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, then it would have taken a long time for all of them to get over. They couldn't have road tripped their way to Studio One. Yeah, let's not bother. We'll probably get slammed about that as well, and stop bowing, you fucking ass. Wait, what? No, that was too quick. It's only been 12 minutes. I mean, I'd love to end the video in 12 minutes, but I'd also not like to end in a loss, so a bit of a conflict of interests there. Of my own interests. Which you don't have, so eat that, Edgeworth. Oh no. Oh, come on. Okay, a witness isn't decisive proof. I have proved many a witness wrong. In fact, pretty much all of them have been wrong. That being said, though, a new witness to kick Salmonella off the stand, I'm totally fine with. Of course, we already know who it is. Oh, well, cool. Dibs on slide! Oh man, it's been an hour already. I'm beat. They ate steak, Phoenix. This case is airtight. I'm just really not confident about this one. That's fantastic. Well, hopefully not the death penalty. Would be nice. Yeah, be the Steel Samurai! You go, well, actually, pretty much anything the Steel Samurai would do would probably be illegal in court, so you probably shouldn't do that, actually. Basically, just sit there and twiddle your thumbs and hope to God you aren't proved guilty. But I mean, in the end, isn't that all we can do? All of us in life? Thanks, Edgeworth. You know, I also have a concern that this child might be exposed to far too much smug asshole, so Perhaps Edgeworth should just take a walk while this whole thing happens. Just a suggestion. We had donuts? Why didn't anybody tell me we had donuts? Dang, Edgeworth getting wrecked by a kid. What, you mean his cravat doesn't mean he's in with the cool kids? Mia, I know you're a ghost, but you are a ghost lawyer, so maybe you could conduct this trial. It would probably be a little easier. Doesn't really like Phoenix either. Edgeworth, I'm pretty sure he knows what the word present means. He knows a lot of things for a grade schooler. He understands economics, Edgeworth. You can't stop him. Yeah, but his sprite was drawn with it. You can't get rid of it, ever. Oh man, poor Edgeworth. Can't catch a break. Got introduced so seriously, and here he is now, getting owned by a kid. Well, yeah, probably. You heard what I just said, right? Sprite drawn with it? Definitely had to be there. Let's see. That doesn't really look like a very complex digital camera. Probably just one of those point and shoots. I'm going to be smug that I know some things about cameras. Do you know what an f-stop is, kid? I do. Can you change your ISO on that thing? I don't think you can. What, you've got a Canon? Oh, that's cute. Maybe you'll get a better camera when you're older, kid. Well, that was a fairly uninteresting story. We're doomed. What, you mean I can't shout, "Objection!" and "Hold it!" I think he can take a few objections. Though, can he take that glare? That was a pretty intense stare down between Phoenix and Edgeworth. Too intense for even some adults. Alright, I get it. You are definitely not a fake Steel Samurai boy. Alright. You've proven yourself. You are worthy. You are worthy. Neener. Alright, let's press this. Yeah, you're walking through valleys crying murder in the studio. That's how the song goes, right? Simple enough. This also looks like it's going to be fairly simple as well. Have you seen this monkey, child? Alright, good. You didn't see the gruesome decapitation of Mr. Monkey. Thank goodness. It's just too much for a child to see. Oh, why didn't you just have the internet save you, huh? Kid, the internet won't be there for you all the time. Sometimes you have to use your brain. Frickin' millennials think they can get away with everything. dare they not have a good sense of direction? That actually seems kind of odd. Like, who's the bad guy? This is the first time we've been hearing about that, even if it is vague. We got the old Mia glare, so we know that's important. Cody's kind of just sticking to as if this was a TV show, but I suppose the bad guy must have been Jack Hammer, but we've not really been hearing about the confrontation just yet, so I am kind of interested in what happened here. Now, this, right here. What did we say earlier? Your sprite was drawn with a camera. You had to have it. How does your mouth do that? Ah yes, digital cameras. Those newfangled things here in the dystopian future of Neo California in 2016. Just don't understand how these things work. I mean, what, you're gonna tell us that we have phones that, like, travel around in our pockets or something? Ridiculous. Well, yeah, kinda. You just said that you would have taken a picture of the scene had you had your camera. But you did have your camera. Alright, well, looks like we will hear more about this confrontation. I mean, we kind of have to assume this is Jack Hammer, so, if it really was Will Powers wearing the Steel Samurai outfit, then, we're not in a good place. But who else could it be? Couldn't be the director and producer. They've made it clear they were in the meeting. And that is very brief. Oh boy. Alright, so, information. Thankfully, the contradiction here should be rather obvious. Not too important. Now, about this. We actually have heard about the kind of ways he views these sorts of things, like these live events and whatnot. Wham is also very vague. Because we know that Jack Hammer was killed, it was probably more than just a wham. The fact that he is being so vague is very suspicious. It pretty much has to be Jack Hammer in his evil magistrate outfit. But he's just refusing to mention it. Yeah. I highly doubt that. Let's press them. Nothing to do but that.
Objection! Objection!
Well, I mean, there have probably been a few, but I kinda doubt it was this one. Because they jumped into the sky and finished their battle in the air. Yeah, definitely. Alright, well, perhaps we could show a bit of evidence here. Because if he wasn't focusing on the fight, well, what else could he be focusing on? He does like to take pictures of these things after all. You just press the button, kid. It's not that hard. Well, yes, but we don't discuss that in courts. Yep, after all, we do have a scrapbook full of pictures of the Steel Samurai finishing off his opponents. Kinda has to be. Quit lying, kid. I know you're lying. There are harsh penalties if you keep lying. Welcome to the real world, kid. We don't care about emotions out here. We're just jerks. Huge jerks. Kill your dreams off now. They'll never survive. Man, he is really dodging the question. So guys, we're all just in agreement here. While it's definitely not going to happen, if I do get penalized, I'm not going to get a game over, right? Because how could he possibly get a guilty for this? This is just so very vague. That, of course, would be the limp. Not good enough. Come on, let's just keep pressing this child that is obviously in distress. That's right. You didn't see one thing coming. Lawyers have psychic powers.
Hold it!
Well, I mean, you know, you have a book. Ah, come on, Phoenix. You know where to find it. Yeah, find out what this kid's about. Kill his dreams right here. Bleed them all out on the doorstep, why don't we? Alright, well, we know that's definitely a lie. 'Cause of this. No, seriously, these are some great pictures. I mean, the angle is fantastic on, like, every single one. You said, and I quote, Whizam. Yeah, he saw the actual Steel Samurai do an impromptu fight. There's no way he would have let some pictures go. Well, there's only one reason. The other two are obviously the fake answers. So, Steel Samurai didn't win. It's good for me, right? This isn't gonna ruin everything we just said, right? Oh, don't worry, he looks at everyone like that. Did you not see the things staring you in the face? Perhaps the two things staring you in the face? Wink. Maybe you should study UEO to that picture a little closer. By the way, I didn't get this wrong by pointing out the giant 2 in the background, which is actually backwards, when you actually have to point out the fact that the 2 right there is the one that's important, even though you can't see the entirety of it. That is decisively not a 1. Not be proof of theft per se, but there's one thing we did pick up the other day.
Take that!
I mean, I don't wear gloves, so I probably have my fingerprints all over it, but perhaps they're there. I can be kind of careful with things. I think you mean I did. Yep, all these theories thanks to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. That being said, though, this is actually quite the relief. At the start of the day, we thought we were completely doomed, but now we have a lot of wiggle room and a completely new theory to work on, which seems to be pretty accurate. Of course, now we kinda have to figure out the why and a little bit more of the how, because we don't know why he was there, and if he wasn't killed by Will Powers, then who did kill him? Again, let's hope for his sake it wasn't Salmonella. But who else could it be? One of the people we've never seen before? Salmonella? De Vasquez? I couldn't possibly figure it out at this point. Oh, you know, going home to the afterlife. Yeah, I'm actually dying on the inside right now. Alright, next time on Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, we'll do just that.